Surprise! We're 2 minutes early. Hello.
Hello, live people.
That's not funny.
That's not funny.
I have very little patience for stupidity.
Then what's he doing here? He's going to be
That
very
makes me
impatient.
worried when you say that, Jeff.
Gonads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
Is anybody
not.
finding the sound clips a little bit
Quiet, yes.
quiet? Yeah.
Ah, well.
Can you bump them up, Jeff? Bump it up.
Gonads are
Up, up.
useful for their purpose, but
That's
they are
better.
no substitute for brains.
There you go. Is that Paul Harvey?
I have very little patience for stupidity.
Yes, that was Paul Harvey, not the one I just played, but the one before
No, I know.
that.
Yeah, that's it. He's very distinctive.
Yep.
I think,
trying
I
to
think
open
our dear
the-
Radio Roger has a little tinge of Paul Harvey in him. He's could have got that radio voice a little bit.
Yep.
Gonads are useful
love
for
it.
their purpose, but they are
Wouldn't hurt. Yeah.
So you've drunk some of this, Jeff.
Is that Hillel's wife in there in the shower?
No, that's Father Kyle, back in my SQPN days. He just had this infectious laugh.
Oh. It's not funny. I would have thought that was a woman for some reason. It sounded feminine
Now,
to me.
focus.
It's too close, I think.
is it?
It's not focusing. Hide your eyes.
Hide
No,
your
hide your eye. No, because if it sees your eyes, it's going to focus on your
It's
eyes.
easier if I put the bottle there.
Flagship.
You've-
Flagship.
Flagship English IPA. You've drunk that, Jeff, at the Hook
Yes.
Norton Brewery.
I remember.
You do? Well, you obviously didn't drink enough, if you remember.
No, we were okay. We had a few,
You were
quite a few
abstemious.
nice ales. Yes, we did.
Very good.
It was
You were
good.
gentlemen
You were.
about it all. So we're expecting AJ, and we never know about Steph. Sort of not expecting Steph, but sometimes she just pops in.
I thought for a minute you were going to say Steph's expecting.
No,
So instead of which we're
I don't think
not expecting.
that would be
Steph.
big news. I think.
that would be.
I think
Yeah,
that
but
be
see,
big.
we could start the rumor.
I think that would be big news for Steph.
Yeah, well, that's big news to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Steph
around for the Big Bang
Steph
theory.
gets big news.
We do amuse ourselves here, don't we?
We do. Yes.
If you can call it that. Dead people is what the movie Sixth Sense and Titanic have in common. Ah,
Oh, God.
Well,
From
Titanic,
Tim V.R. Martin.
Titanic has drowned people. That's how they got
Yeah, but
dead.
they'd be done dead.
They done dead. They done dead. A lot of them are buried in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Did you know that?
Ah. I heard that's a really dead town.
Yeah. Idaho
deserves-
boxes. Where the heck have you been?
he's been hauling boxes, I expect.
Yes.
Around and round and round the world.
I guess he's getting.
Funny.
Is it too early to be stocking up for Christmas?
It's never too early to stock up.
No. I can't. I really can't believe it's June already. I don't know. It just the last couple of months have been like, shriek.
June
Yeah.
is busting
I know,
out
it's
all
crazy.
over.
It has nothing to do with our advanced age.
Oh, Nick's singing show tunes. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we all want to see June busting out, don't we?
Yeah, I think you guys do more than I do, but go for it.
Having said that, May was really hot, and June has been thunderstorms and torrential
Wow.
rain.
Idaho
have
Box has been on trips to unforgiving places. So
Oh,
I guess
dear.
he couldn't get on the internet wherever Middle East is a mess. Oh, yeah.
China's worse.
Yeah, I hear the Middle East is a mess right now. Something's going on over there. I don't know quite what it is, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it.
You missed the first two letters. I see dead people. Ah, okay. Except I don't. I try not to anyway.
No.
I got enough of that when I was an airline pilot.
Okay.
Did you find many dead people around, Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah, surprisingly common.
Some in the passenger compartment.
Oh, really?
Or they seemed like they were dead.
Some in the first officer seat.
Oh,
Yeah.
golly, yes.
Yep.
No, I think
Good work, Jeff.
Thank you.
because it was a special cargo. We always found out when we had dead people, guns, and banknotes on board, and gold, of course, on board.
Oh, so that banknotes thing in South America wasn't that unusual. You guys used to fly that stuff around a lot?
Oh God, yeah, yeah. You see the Brinks-Mat, trucks pulling up, and they'd you load 10 tons of used banknotes
Was it
into the.
was it usually to sort of like to Lagos or somewhere? Like it wasn't to the States, obviously, was it?
Well,
Like,
yeah, a lot of it was
Really?
because because American people bring all their dollars over and exchange them, and when you get too many dollars, you go, we don't want all these bloody dollars. Have them back.
okay,
We would fly them back over to the States.
I got it.
Get your dirty cash
So you'd
out
have
of here.
you'd have Brinks loading the plane and then Brinks picking it up, or security.
I
of some
guess,
kind,
yeah. I mean, at times we would have, a few tons of gold and a few tons of banknotes and an airplane worth, I don't know, what would you get it on the black market? You probably wouldn't get that much for it, but you might get, a few million for it. And we would think, well, should we hijack the airplane ourselves and go fly it to some remote place in South America and escape
This
with
was
all the...
this was the talk on the flight deck. This is what you were talking
We
about. I
used
got
to-
it. Yeah,
We'd plan it all out.
sort of like winning the lottery. What would we do?
What would we do with all the passengers, though? Oh, well, let's just depressurize the airplane and kill them all.
Maybe that's what happened to that Malaysian flight, right? They
Ah,
probably-
could
There
be.
were a
If
bunch of
it's easy.
banknotes on that thing.
You're right, Tanya. The war on cash. I hardly ever carry cash anymore. Like I'm like I just don't carry it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I've got my magic ring.
And then all of a sudden I'll go to like somewhere that I've got to pay cash, and I'm just like, oh boy, I got to go get some cash.
In fact, I gave Nigel cash for the beer today
Oh
because he didn't have one. He hasn't got one of these, tap machines.
no.
So I now have to go back to the bank now and replenish my wallet.
See, we have a really good system. I think we have a good system here in Canada. It's called Interac, and you can do this e-transfer thing really easily between people. Anybody that has a bank account in Canada can transfer
Oh, that
money
sounds
around.
good. I suppose I could have PayPal'd him, but I don't know if Nigel has a PayPal account.
How you doing there, Jeff?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Getting ready to do a podcast, are you?
I'm thinking, we should probably do that.
Okay.
Let's see. What are we doing for the first
Ooh,
item?
UH Blackhawk. Haven't seen you for a while
You have a
either.
police escort as you taxi out. Oh, well, I know her.
Oh, wow.
I mean, my old man said he was robbed on the taxi out in Nairobi.
Really?
Yeah. A bunch of guys ran underneath the airplane as he was taxiing down, the long
Wow.
taxiway to the end of the runway. And they opened the cargo door and threw a few bags out and then ran away with them.
Wow. That's an
apparently it's quite
adventure.
common.
Holy mackerel.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the official logo for this show.
Uh,
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Makes the artwork very easy.
Does that mean we're going for a 24-hour show, Jeff?
You know that
24/7.
how they came up with the name? 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, that's not 24 hours.
Yeah, but
then they
because kind of a lot of them
switched it
are
to
open 24 hours.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, usually.
So it's not the 7th of November or the 11th of
November.
No.
11th
Okay.
of July in America. It would be the 7/11 would be
That's true.
the 11th
Yep.
of July. For us, it would
For us to be 11/7.
The 7th of
November,
November. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I hear they have interesting food at 7-Eleven, Tim, in Japan. We were just talking about that before we went on the air. Are we getting close, Jeffy?
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy episode 711.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy show, the view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of June 1st, 2026.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Picture light and he's flying by with the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, a Blue Origin rocket blows up on the launch pad during testing, and an unruly passenger tries storming the cockpit, forcing a diversion. Also ahead, more news, your feedback, and today's plane tale. So get all settled in, tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions, electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 711 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in New York City. Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me, the first contestant from his Garden View studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
retired professional dog photographer, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff. 711, what a great number. Now, this week, the reveal for our show number is the Bort 711. Bort is Russian for the side ID number of an aircraft, and it most famously refers to the unique, one-of-a-kind Sukhoi Su-37, a Russian canard-wielding thrust-vectoring fighter aircraft, which made its first flight in 1996 but never went into production. It crashed in 2002 when a horizontal stabilizer broke off, forcing the pilot to eject, which he did so safely. Now, the Bort 711, NATO reporting name Flanker Echo, but it's had a funny nickname, something like the Destroyer or something, I can't remember, but that was made up. No, it wasn't its official NATO name. Anyway, it was a prototype that directly paved the way for the highly advanced Su-35. So it did some good, I guess.
Are you sure that isn't a 344? I saw 344 on there.
Yeah, but look at the tail.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I could have put it on both shows, perhaps.
Never enough numbers.
I've no idea.
Yeah,
why
what happened on show
344
344? We weren't doing this kind of thing.
No,
on
it
that
wasn't.
No, we
show.
weren't.
I guess they don't have Martin Baker ejector seats there in Russia, right?
No, I don't think they do.
No.
They have. They sit on a big spring.
Boy, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's very interesting. Nice sound effect, though, Liz.
Yes, very good.
And from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer, it's Liz Piper.
Hi. Sorry I joined in a little early there. Anyway,
Yeah, that's fine.
Good to see you, Liz.
good to see you guys.
Got extra
All right.
buttons to press this week.
I
Good
know.
luck.
Watch for some very interesting effects, everybody.
I can't wait.
Have a good show.
Incredibly interesting, yes.
Thank you, Liz.
Cheers.
Let's do some news.
Stand by for news.
All right, we're going to start off this show's news segment with this. We meant to play it last week. Yeah, when we were talking about airplanes landing on roads and such. We had a double header, but we only got the first part of it, that seaplane.
Or a single header then.
Yeah, that's true, a single header. That seaplane that landed in central Phoenix. But we got another one that landed also in Arizona. I don't know what's going on there in Arizona, but these airplanes are falling out of the sky and landing on roads. And this one is involving a Cessna Aerobat, actually, an A150L, Alpha 150 Lima. And this is from the dash cam in the car. Let's go ahead and play it, see what we get here. It's pretty interesting. You're going to see the airplane appear through this forward windshield of this pickup truck.
Oh, look, you guys. Look. Oh my God, why is he so low?
The plane's kind of low. Whoa! Yike! There's the rear dash cam.
Look. Oh my God, why is he so low?
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh! Did you see how close that was to?
Yeah,
we need
just got under its wing, didn't he?
See that again.
It was amazing.
Okay, here it's coming. It's coming. It's kind of low. Oh, it's going to land on. Oh, boom. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Yeah, it's a good thing that it was kind of a hard landing on the left side and kind of bounced that way. And then a little piece of it fell off. I think that's the little wheel cover or whatever they call that. Wheel fairing. The boot, yeah. And look at, so you see that right wing just about to go right over the top of this pickup truck cab. Yeah, I would have if I were that truck.
Really?
And then,
family in it, didn't they?
And then here we're seeing it from a different view. Yeah, there's a whole family in there. And then here we go. I'm going to move out of the way. And then it was going to be pretty nice landing rollout, except for this road sign here that hits with the right wing. Boom.
Put the brakes on a bit quick.
Yeah. Wow.
Which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because he looked like he was still going at a fair lick.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty amazing, though.
It looks very much like the airplane I first went solo in.
Was it an Aerobat? Aerobat is a Cessna 150, the aerobatic version that has a little bit higher positive and negative G rating.
It was the one, that was the type that I first went powered solo.
You know what's interesting about that? When I was looking up and I think I'll include a link to the Cessna 150 Wikipedia, but in it there's a section on the Aerobat and the fact that the engine was not equipped like with a inverted capability. So it's interesting that it's an aerobatic airplane, but it doesn't. I mean, if you sustain your negative G inverted flight, eventually the engine's going to stop running. Oh, UH Blackhawk says in our live audience, British pilot landed on the wrong side of the road. Yeah. Notice that. Yeah.
Yes.
Tim Van Ram. Wheel pants. There we go. That'd be some wheel pants right there.
Who made that up? He's made it
No,
up.
I think that he's right. I think they are called wheel pants. Believe it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Not real pants, because that's what I'm wearing right now. But
I'm looking that up. Because we call them spats. But
yeah, well, Nick is waving the red flag here for a foul. He's not believing you, Tim.
There you go. Aircraft wheel spats, are commonly called wheel pants or fairings, are aerodynamic covers fitted over the exposed wheels. Yeah, so I guess we're all right.
Yeah. Hey, we're all right. That's what we need to know. Take away from this. We're all right. Okay, now this, we're an aviation podcast, but I mean, kind of, space is kind of, we're kind of stretching a little bit, but The reason why we're doing that is because this was a pretty spectacular explosion that happened. It done blowed up real good. A Blue Origin rocket blows up on the Florida launch pad during a test. The rocket, built by the Jeff Bezos-owned space company, Blue Origin, was to carry 48 satellites into space. Were they? Oh, did it have those 48 satellites on? Oh, okay. Blue Origin reported on social media that all personnel have been accounted for. Nobody was done killed in this one. So no,
Probably
not.
No, it's not nearly exciting enough.
According to Blue Origin, they reported on social media, we experienced an anomaly during today's hot fire test. Yeah, a little glitch. Okay, let's play that video, shall we? All right, let's see. What the heck? I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Got to get on this window right here, and then I got to hit this button here. All right, so we see it. Ooh, it's lighting up the sky. Oh, look at that nice engine test. Uh-oh, the top part blew up.
Wow.
No, they did not. That was pretty spectacular explosion for sure. Lit up the whole darn, I mean, it was his night, and it looks like daytime.
Well, I'm amazed the tower is still standing after
Isn't
that.
that pretty? That's impressive. I agree.
Yeah. Oh,
that ain't no
look at
rocket standing though anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Or is that the Bikini Atoll?
Ah, wow. Yikes. Oh, what a beautiful sunset. You can see how it lit up the sky like it was daytime, but now it's subsiding a little bit, and you can see it's very dark.
Oh,
in fact, it looked like there's some lightning in the background there. All right, let's look at this baby again, shall we? Okay. I'm trying to blow it up again, but I thought I'd just hit this button right here and it would work, but it's not working. Let me try this then. Okay. Nope. I know. Here we go. Boom.
Golly gosh.
You can almost see that shock wave.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Let's see. I think I can go backwards. Oh, look at that.
Suck the shockwave in.
Now we're going backwards. Ooh, wow. For those of you listening to the audio-only podcast, you need to check out the show notes and see this video.
Yeah, you definitely can see the shockwave.
Yeah,
going out.
So
like a
so everything looks like it's okay. Right at this point, you know, the engines are ignited, but look, when you look at the upper part, that's when you notice the boom. Like that's not supposed to happen right there.
Flame bursts out of the top half. Yes.
And then here's the shock. Yeah, you can see the shock wave there.
Very impressive.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So at this point, I don't think they know for sure exactly. Yeah, that's before. And what does the after look like? That. Oh, yeah, not much left there. Did a lot of damage, a lot of destruction. Yeah. Wow. Okay. As I said, we know nothing about this stuff. We just wanted to play it because it was a beautiful explosion. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this next. Oh, we got another video. Let me see. From Radio Roger. Okay. Here we go. I think this news outlet kind of covers this, what's going on here. So let's go ahead and let's hit it. Okay, hit it.
Overnight, panic in the skies. Federal authorities investigating after a United Airlines flight was diverted due to what the airline says was a security concern caused by an unruly passenger.
Yeah, we'll land, take a left turn, just have law enforcement stand by.
The flight from Chicago, originally set for Minneapolis, was forced to land in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Madison.
Not Wisconsin.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting how they just kind of gloss over where in Wisconsin and the fact that that's the state capital of Wisconsin. Come on, people. Come on, they're dissing Madison.
You can hear air traffic controllers informing a nearby pilot of a potential hijacking.
It's actually a situation where we might have to close the airfield due to potential hijack.
United says the person was quickly subdued by law enforcement officers on board. Once they landed, no one was injured. A similar incident unfolding just days earlier on an American Airlines flight from Athens to New York, forced to land in Rome due to what they say was a disruptive customer. Police seen crowding near the front of the plane as passengers look on. American says the passenger was quickly removed from the aircraft, telling ABC News the safety and security of our customers and team members is a top priority. We thank our customers for their patience and our crew
Hang
members
on a
for
minute.
their
I
professionalism.
thought safety was their top priority. Not security, but there you go.
Yeah. What's your top priority? Our top priority is getting at least 50%.
There you go. Good job.
That's our priority. Okay.
And on that latest United incident, we've reached out to local and federal authorities. We're waiting to hear back from them, but we're told that that passenger is still in police custody.
What a wild story.
It really is.
Getting the pulp beat out of him.
Yeah, like it's never happened before. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Shocking. No. Yeah. There's a lot of panicking going on there, I think. Yeah.
I like the bit where they said, good Lord, he's seated in a seat. And I thought, well, yeah, okay. He's seated in a seat and flanked by law enforcement officers.
Yeah.
And he's flanked by law enforcement officers on either side. Well, what does flanked mean then?
Flanked? Yeah, there's a lot of extra words that
just in
necessary.
case you didn't understand the first word. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say in the news article that we have in our show notes from AOL.com, I can't believe that AOL is still a thing. They say that they had to make an abrupt stop. I don't know, maybe they were watching the landing. Probably a normal stuff. At Dane County Regional Airport in Wisconsin. And I'm thinking, they did again. Even in this article, they did. I added Madison there in our little show note or in the article because I'm thinking, come on, what's wrong with these people? They have something against Madison? Oh, UH Blackhawk in our live audience says he picked the wrong flight. 5 Leos on board. Oh my gosh, that's not common to have 5. Well, you know what? Oh, it could have been more than just like air marshals. Okay, no, it's actually not that uncommon. Yeah, 5 law enforcement officers. Yeah, you're right though.
Perhaps they were going to a convention.
Yep. No, were they? And he said that they were, you said, Captain Nick, that he was flanked by a couple of officers, or was he spanked by a couple?
Oh,
of
I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't you shouldn't punish someone twice for the same,
double jeopardy
wrongdoing. So yeah. I don't think they'd spank him on the airplane, would they?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was interesting. Yeah, we should. What, the one that we were covering now or the next one? I've lost you, Liz. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, this next one from the aviationherald.com. It's a final report. Am I on the right one?
Yep.
Okay. Qantas Link DH-8C de Havilland -8-300. Registration Victor Hotel Taco Queso Macho. I don't know. Yeah, Tango Quebec Mike performing flight 2077 from Mildura to Melbourne.
Yes.
Mildura, okay, in Australia. With 50 passengers, 4 crew was taxiing for departure on Mildura's runway 09 when the crew inadvertently aligned with the right runway edge lights. Again? Come on, people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, like every week, there's at least one of these things, flights lining up on the runway edge. Oh, this was the, okay, could have been the original one because this is the final report. This happened back in February of 2025. Okay. Anyway, they inadvertently aligned with the right runway edge lights, commenced the takeoff, taking out 5 runway edge lights. The captain noticed the aircraft was not on the center line. Yeah, too late, he noticed, and steered the aircraft onto the center line and continued the takeoff. The aircraft proceeded to Melbourne and performed a low approach to Melbourne's runway 16 to have the landing gear inspected by Tower and subsequently landed safely on runway 16 about 20 minutes later. The final report released by the Australian Transportation Safety Board concluded that the probable causes of the serious incidents were they lined up on the wrong side of the runway and they hit the lights. I mean, okay.
Yep.
During lineup, the aircraft was taxied off the starter extension guidance line. Okay, I don't know why. And the flight crew's attention was diverted to completing the ready checks. Okay, I think, we talked about this last week, didn't we, Captain Nick? Like heads down and doing things, that not paying attention to where they're aligning the aircraft.
Yep.
And let's see. So the flight crew commenced the takeoff from a misaligned position, resulting in damage to the aircraft and runway edge lights. Other factors that increased the risk: the flight crew conducted a low pass to facilitate a visual inspection of the landing gear by air traffic control. There were no supporting procedures for the low pass or visual inspection, nor did the flight crew contact the operator to seek assistance. Come on. They're just going to wing it. The presence of a prescription medication was detected in the captain's post-incident drug and alcohol test. That was not prescribed for him. While he was unlikely to have been impaired by the medication, there's no assurance that the captain would not experience any adverse effects or impairment that may have impacted his ability to safely operate the aircraft. All right. Hey. Hello, AJ. Welcome aboard, sir.
Hi, AJ.
Hello.
Missed you last week.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yeah.
How's the volume, by the way? I haven't. How's the volume? I haven't. This is the first time we used this mic.
Is this the new setup? Okay, cool. Sounds good.
A little hot.
Talk a little bit more. A little hot.
I can talk a little bit. I can also turn it down a little bit. How about that? Not too bad. It's okay.
Is that better? Or was there any difference?
Better 1 or better 2? Or 3 or 4?
So are you adjusting the little knob?
Yes, I'm tootling the knob.
I know it's an interface that it's a mixed pre interface that he's using. So okay, I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Should we?
Tanya said I'm louder. What if I turn myself down in StreamYard?
I was just about to.
How about that? Is that a little bit better?
Yep,
I think so.
There.
Better.
Right.
That good?
Still too much?
More?
Yeah, that's good. No, I like that now. That's good.
Okay. Very
cool.
Good. Very good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we should have checked that before we started the recording today. Oh well. Yeah, it's working.
Cool.
All right. Very good. And by the way, I did find the microphones that I was looking for. They were just strewn on my mattress in my RVS.
Strewn willy-nilly?
Strewn and underneath items of clothing, and it's just, the RVS is quite a mess. Need to do some cleanup. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's continue covering this news item. So again, diverted attention is a likely contribution to this incident, and I don't know, anything to add, Captain Nick, that you noticed in this final report that jumps out at you?
Other than saying he's a naughty boy for taking prescription drugs when they're not prescribed for him. So, yeah, that's a bit of a no-no, and he probably would quite rightly get his hands slapped for that. When it comes to the lineup, they make the note that with the runway length and his aircraft type, there was absolutely no need to give himself the maximum length to take off. I mean, it's quite common for us to turn off the line that guides you to the center of the runway and sort of take a bit of a sharper turn so that you give yourself another 50 feet of runway, because quite honestly, that line does take you a lot deeper into the runway than you would normally do. But they say, well, it was completely not required for him. He didn't need to give himself the maximum length of runway. It's not like he was going to have any problem getting airborne. So he would have been much better off if he'd stuck to the taxi line, and which would have put him in the center of the runway. So not good. We do these takeoffs many times a day if you're doing his kind of work. So why on earth would he allow himself this time to be distracted doing the standard checks that he would always do when he lines up? So the answer really is to make sure that, you do the priority, the important jobs correctly, and give yourself enough time to fit the other duties like completing your checklists around them. And for this chap, the most important thing was to get himself in the middle of the runway. I love the way they said, I'm just looking for it because I'm going to take a moment. It was the misaligned takeoff. I can't see the exact wording, but here we go. With reduced visual cues available due to the dark conditions. Well, it was nighttime. I mean, every time you do a night takeoff, you're going to have that issue.
Reduced visual cues.
Such dark ambient conditions have been consistently cited in the research for similar occurrences. That's why we train so hard, both day and night.
They've done research that it's dark at night.
Yeah, exactly.
There is. It's
So
dark
I'm
at night.
going, really, I don't see that.
We
as
recommend
being a
that nobody fly at
contributing
night
factor.
because it's
But there you go.
too dark.
Well, he probably wouldn't have lined up with the grass if it was daytime.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, possibly. But that's why they put lights on them.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they kind of took issue with his low pass at Melbourne.
Yeah, they didn't like that, did they?
No.
They said he didn't have a procedure to follow. There was no real need because it was very doubtful that air traffic would be able to see anything. Because it was dark. Yeah,
it was still dark.
That would give him any real indication if he had a problem. And he flew too low as well for him to be properly observed. So I think they're probably right in saying that unless you know exactly what you're doing and your company has a procedure, you shouldn't really do a visual fly past. Although it's very common. I mean, in the military we did them all the time. But there you go. It gave us a chance to beat up the tower.
I've always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do this. So
we loved beating up the tower.
UH Blackhawk says it was night. What would ATC see? I don't know.
Yeah, good point.
Lights amongst a whole bunch of other lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, in the military, we often had some searchlights that pointed upwards, a row of searchlights that you would fly through to illuminate the belly of the aircraft to do one of these flypasts. But no. Much better to find another aircraft to formate on you and look at you in detail. But unless you've got a military pilot that's willing to do that,
he might have gotten in more trouble for a formation.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think that would have just done him in completely.
I can see a car down there. I'm going to formate on him and ask him what my gear looks like. Yeah, it's a woolly jumper.
Oh, man. All right.
This is getting silly, this show.
Kidding.
Do the turtle? Okay. That is, which one?
Is this so we can have a decent show title?
Yeah, we actually need to, we're thinking about the show title, and we're also thinking about our wonderful people who send us feedback, and we didn't do any feedback on the last episode, so we're going to try to make up for that on this one. So
Jeff, did you see my message in WhatsApp?
I did not.
My Unity login is not working. If it matters. I can't hear Liz's lovely voice.
We can take care of that, sir, I think.
So which one is the turtle?
That turtle's the one that has the shell and
and the four little
very
legs that
low
stick out
to the ground.
Not the one with the fins.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Not the one with the fins. Yeah.
And the one that can swim.
Can it jump?
To the tortoise, which just sinks.
Okay, let's see. So now.
But what about sea tortoises? They don't sink.
You sure?
Yeah,
Have you
they
tried
sink
throwing one of them in a lake lately?
Yeah, I saw that cartoon movie with the fish, and they were surfing the current.
Yeah.
Okay.
They obviously don't watch the same
Give it another
TV
try,
as you.
AJ.
Great success.
Hmm?
Great success.
Beautiful. Okay. Oh, that's Doc Turtle here. All righty. We have this sent to us from MetroDoc, and it's in our news lineup, so we're going to treat it as a news story, and we're going to play a video about the turtle encounter. Here we go. No problem.
Flagship 516, contact Potomac departure.
Okay, 516 over departure, and just advise there was actually a turtle on the runway.
Okay, how far down?
Just right as we take off the takeoff roll there, it was on the center line.
Copy.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
Not very
Delta
descriptive.
1787 exited Delta and then call ground 121.62. Rodeo 988 Dulles Tower, runway 19 center, clear to land, wind calm. November 843 Echo Dulles Tower. We just got a report of a turtle located on the center line for 30 by the previous departure. Would you like me to get airport ops out here to investigate before you depart?
Well, I think we heard that. We think he said at the beginning of their takeoff roll, so we can roll forward a little bit and see if we see the guy, and then and let you know from there. How's that sound?
All right, how about this? 843 Echo, runway 30, line up and wait. Let me know if you have eyes on the turtle.
Okay, line up and wait on 30843 Echo.
I think that turtle does have eyes.
Airport ops, Dulles. Airport ops, Dulles Tower.
It's Tower 43 Echo. We think we see him. Can we taxi forward a little?
November 843 Echo, approved, taxi ahead, and just advise when you've come to a stop beyond the turtle.
Roger that.
United 2366, Dulles Tower, runway 19 center, clear to land, wind calm.
So we have him in sight. He's right at our position right here. So just at the intersection of, where are we here? Yankee?
Whatever that is.
You're at Zulu, so there's 10,000 feet remaining from.
Do you know where you are, sir?
Okay, well, right where we're sitting right now is the turtle, and he looks very happy on the center line, so somebody might want to move him.
Okay. November 843 Echo, runway 30 from Zulu, turn left heading 290, clear for take.
Caution, turtles on the runway. Possible show title. There we go. Yeah. I don't know if that was standard terminology regarding the turtle, but I think so. I bet that turtle is still enjoying his life right now. Yeah.
Maybe. Or he could be soup.
Ooh. Anyway, there we go. Thank you, MetroDoc, for sending that in. And now we're going to already be moving on to this part of the show, Getting to Know Us, where we kind of do a little show and tell everybody what we've been doing since we were last on the show. Thank you, Liz. And let's see. So, since you were not in attendance last week, AJ, we're going to start with you. And
I was here in
first of all,
spirit.
you're going to explain to us what your excuse was, and it's probably a pretty good excuse.
Airplanes.
When you're here with us. Airplanes. Oh, okay. Aviation podcast. Okay.
What are the odds? So our 182 for Civil Air Patrol finally returned to service, so I was able to do another onboarding flight, and so that was what was Thursday, and then this past Tuesday, just a couple of days ago, passed my initial Form 5 check ride, which was a lot more involved than I sort of originally thought it was going to be. It was about 5.5 hours total, so it was a good bit of time.
Wow.
But I'm officially a checked out CAP pilot now, so transport mission pilot, doing some orientation rides this weekend. So
a CAT pilot?
CAP.
Oh, CAP pilot. Okay.
Yes, Civil Air Patrol.
Excellent. Well done. Good
job. Thank you. Other than that, man, just kind of working and cooking. So.
All right. Very good.
Good job.
Very good. All right. Good to have you with us. And Captain Nick, sir, what have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of sort of messing about with the house. We're looking to have some work done. None of which is happening yet, but we have had workmen in and out helping us, helping us. Yeah, we're really trying to repair the mess that Jeff left when he came to visit.
Sorry.
Including the washing machine, which suddenly sprung a leak as soon as Jeff left.
Nothing to do with the washing machine.
Flooded the utility room. So that was we had Mr. Bish Bash Bosch came in, the Bosch engineer, and he fixed that very nicely. Thank you, sir. And today was a nice day because I pinched my wife's big Volvo because it was a pretty foul weather day.
I wasn't sure what you were pinching there.
I was wondering where the end of that sentence was going.
Pinched my wife's what?
Volvo, yes. And
wow.
drove it up
Her
to
what?
Captain Nigel's place. And
Wow.
yeah,
This is
because
a little racy.
Captain Nige had managed to acquire me 4 cases of the lovely Hook Norton flagship English IPA, which is I'm having my first one right now, and I don't know, but he certainly at the price he got it for. So thank you very much indeed, Captain Nudge. I'm trying to remember what the special deal was that he managed to sort out, but it was a very good deal. And I came after we went out to a local pub. In fact, it was the Pie Pub, as it's called, and we had pies and pints, which was rather nice. So there's all the different flavours there. I don't know why it keeps disappearing there, Liz. What are you
I don't
doing?
know why it keeps.
It's like shaking around.
I thought Liz was doing that, but
I think I had the. Keep it still. Keep it still, will you, Liz? Thank you very much. I had the pork, sage and onion stuffing apple sauce pie, and I'm trying to remember which one Nigel had, but he certainly. They were both delicious, although my blood sugars went, whoa, yummy, all that sage and onion stuffing and pie topping. I'm going to go through the roof now. Yeah, so anyway, it was fun. Thank you very much, Nigel. Lovely to see you and your lovely wife, as usual. So that was great. And that was really kind of it for the week. No, very little patonking. Did go down once at the beginning of the week, but I've got a match to play on Saturday, but it's going to be a very wet day, so I don't know if we're going to end up doing that or not, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you want me to do the artwork? Okay, so let's just think back to the last show. We had some really good stories, like the Cessna flipping over, so that was kind of flipping eck. The Oman lineup. We also had Steph's stories of baboon wrangling and ostriches at the Cape of Good Hope. So, and I thought the funniest one was Jeff's pronunciation of goshawk, which was the goshawk. So we ended up with the golly goshawk. And there, we got the golly goshawk. Back one, please, Liz. Haven't quite got there yet. The golly goshawk, having been abandoned by its crew, is careering along, and watch out, ostrich. You put your head in the sand. The crew got out, which was great, and well done, Martin Baker. The number, the show number you will find emblazoned on the teeth of the baboon there, 710. And what else we got? We've got the logo.
The logo.
Is on the tip of the fin there. And in fact, I think those two guys are discussing the logo. Did you see the logo on our fin? Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Never
You want
noticed
to hold my hand?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit frightened. Hold my hand, will you, on the way
Yeah.
down? Yes. Yeah, they did. They certainly did. And
was it multiple ejection?
And they're more or less correctly positioned in reality as well as in this cartoon. There are our jackass penguins. There's mum and dad and 2 kids, including one tiny one. So
Aw.
there you go. That's the artwork. Well, it took me ages to do all that inking in. Yeah,
Wow.
It really did. Yeah. Yeah, I can see why, because there are some squiggles there that look very much like numbers. Well done. And if you
Very
got any
nice.
of those, congratulations.
Yeah. Very good. All right. All right. Well, I've been doing my standard singing since returning from England, and I think that I'm mostly fully recovered from all of the eating and drinking, and so kind of back to normal. And I've been, singing in a lot of weddings and funerals, as well as the normal mass things. And what else? Yeah, pretty much it, really. I did. Dana, a few days ago, reached out to me via texting messages, that kind of thing. And he sent me some photos. And so, Liz, if you want to maybe show some of those. I said, I looked at these photos, and it looks, let me describe. It's on an airplane. There's Captain Dana with in the photographs with World War II veterans on the airplane, several on his flight, I think 3 of them. And I said, that's awesome, Dana. Was that a special flight, or are they headed to or from a special event? He said, yes, they're heading on the Delta charter for the anniversary of D-Day in Normandy. It's a special program run by Delta. 29 World War II vets flying over tonight, called the Best Defense Foundation. They send whoever is able to travel over to Normandy every year for the remembrance. There's only 29 left that can travel. And one of the most humbling days in my career, Captain Dana says. And then he said, feel free to share the photos and stories of each veteran, if you'd like, on the show. That's what we're doing. Right, because Captain Dana is a A320 series captain, and they went on to fly on the bigger jet over the pond, over to Normandy. So that's really, really cool. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with us, Dana. We do appreciate it. We'll have all this in the show notes, along with their stories, more information about the names of these gentlemen and what they did to serve our country in World War II. All right. And that's really all I can think of for myself. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so thank you for reminding me of that, Liz. So I learned a few days ago that my aunt had passed away, and her funeral is on Thursday of next week. And so I'm planning on flying up on Wednesday and then attending the funeral and then flying back Thursday night, and then have several things going on, a special mass on Friday, along with a wedding in the afternoon and a wedding on Friday evening. So not going to leave me a lot of time to do a show starting from Wednesday through the weekend. So we're thinking about maybe taking the week off. So hopefully...
Could just record tomorrow.
Okay, again, as I said, we're thinking of taking the week off, AJ. Stop. Anyway. Oh, hey, there's Dr. Steph. Hello, Steph.
Hello. Hopefully my mic
How
is...
are
I'm good.
We hear you.
Yeah, good. I hear you guys now, too.
So plugging it in worked?
It did, yeah. Well, no, to be fair, I had already unplugged it, plugged it back in. It did not solve the issue, and I think it actually said something along the lines of, your mic is no longer recognized. It was just failing to
Have you been able to recognize
acknowledge. I mean, it still looks like a mic.
Looks like a mic.
It looks like the correct.
I thought the rule was don't talk to strangers. Does that apply to microphones?
I don't know. It's very confusing.
Yeah, do you have anything share-worthy on the getting to know us?
Not really.
Doctor?
I pressure washed last weekend. around the outside of the exterior of the house and environment, and it was productive. That's all I have.
Good.
I had nothing else.
You pressure washed the environment, the trees and the
Pressure
grass.
washed the side of the house and the dock and the things that had pollen attached to them still.
That still includes trees.
Well, yeah. did not pressure wash the trees. So hopefully the natural rain takes care of that. So
cool.
No, I don't have anything else. Nothing interesting.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad. I hope you're doing well. And
I am.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Before 5 o'clock. That's pretty.
I know.
That's
Look
pretty
how
amazing.
I'm feeling very on time today, even though I know you guys have already been going for a while and you're already on getting to know
So the
us, so I
traffic
missed all
wasn't-
the news.
Traffic not too bad
It was
today?
not too bad. No.
Okay. Very good. All right. I guess maybe some coffee fun stuff. What do you think?
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks.
All right.
I love coffee. I love tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup.
Oh, yeah. Coffee Fun. It's your way, dear listener, to support the show financially if you want. I mean, it's a free show, and we do this out of the goodness of our hearts because we enjoy hanging around with friends, because we love you, yes. If you want to, return some love via financial means, we have this thing called the Coffee Fund. A couple of different things or ways that you can do that. The first is the OG, the original method, which is a Coffee Fund Classic method. And our good friend Mazuz Karim, whom Captain Nick and Tanya and several of us attending the PTUK 600 event at Duxford. We got to visit with Mazuz, so that was a lot of fun. So thank you, Mazuz, for your monthly donation. Very generous. Thank you. And let's see, the other way to do this is to become a patron of the show via patreon.com. It's been a while since we had any new patrons, but we got a bunch of you out there that do that each episode every month. So thank you very much for that. So head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee to learn more about how you can participate too. Oh, Nick, where are you? Oh, there he goes. He's coming back now.
Yeah, sure. I've already done it though.
Okay, well, never mind. Let's move on to no. Okay, we'll go ahead and introduce the plain tail then. Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
How exciting, a plane tail. Now I'm really glad I was able to get here on earlier than expected. All right, Liz is giving me some intriguing insight to this one, so I'm excited to listen.
Okay. Well, hey, it's a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We have a plane tail on today's episode, and the old pilot is going to introduce us to the title here right now.
The Old Pilot's Plain Tales. RAF Form 414, Volume 38. And my heart went... I was lying in the King Edward VII Hospital, imagining Phil Collins playing drums on my heart, whilst watching the monitor and wondering how I was going to support my family after I'd been permanently grounded with this condition that had come right out of the blue. The specialist had confirmed my GP's diagnosis of atrial fibrillation, something that wasn't common in someone my age. There are obvious causes like heart or artery diseases, a previous heart attack, or a heart valve leaking issue, all of which were quickly dismissed after some scans. Apparently the condition affects many in later life, and is surprisingly common in young adults, particularly after binge drinking and or using stimulants. For me, it was put down to that damned ice-cold drink. Sometimes referred to as cold drink heart, those of us that are susceptible can bring on an attack within seconds of consuming a really cold drink. The esophagus runs directly behind the heart, and the sudden chill can stimulate the vagus nerve, which causes a rapid thermal irritation, disrupting the heart's rhythm. If you're lucky, effects are short-lived, but I was stuck in AF. My treatment can be traced back to Roman times, when the foxglove plant was recognized as a herb that could stimulate the heart. More specifically, I will lay my laurel wreaths on the graves of Dr. William Withering, who deduced that the crucial ingredient of a secret remedy used by a local Shropshire woman to treat dropsy was the common foxglove, Digitalis purpurea to be precise, and of course the unknown lady whom he spied on. I was told that if digoxin didn't correct the issue after 48 hours, I would have a cardioversion, the medical butcher's equivalent of turning off your computer, giving it a kick, and then turning it back on again. To achieve this, they would electrocute my recalcitrant organ, thereby giving it a good spanking before shocking it back into life, hoping that it had well and truly learned a lesson. I gave my heart a good talking to, and warned it that the chest burns, which result from cardioversion, would be nothing compared with the wrath I would bring down on it if it didn't start behaving. My warning must have hit home, and the next morning I, quite suddenly, felt 100 times better as my heart rhythm returned to normal. Now, all I needed to do was get my medical back. The tests that the hospital did were nothing with please the Civil Aviation Authority. I went through months of tests, monitoring, treadmills and stress electrocardiograms. I wore so many ECG electrodes that my skin looked as if I had battled a giant squid, permanently red and raw, probably because some of the equipment needed the removal of my chest hair, and the attachment points had to be abraded with sandpaper to get a good adhesion. Helping me to jump through all of these hoops was old Cookie. This wizened, white-haired gentleman was one of the CAA's cardiac consultants, and what a gent he was. The nurses there all loved him for his patience and skill, and although I always called him Sir, he was, after all, a retired Air Vice Marshal. It was they who explained that his nickname came from the common explanation that his name was spelt Cook with an E on the end. Out of hospital and back home, I spent a few hours on the Professional Pilots Rumour Network, P-Prune, and found an ex-Harrier pilot who had suffered AF whilst on the jump jet. He recovered, but the RAF wouldn't let him remain on a single-pilot aircraft, so he concluded his career in the mighty Hercules. After leaving, he was very gainfully employed by Cathay Pacific, but some years later had another attack. This time he thought his career was well and truly over, until he found a doctor who would ablate his heart, using heat to destroy the thin lines across his heart muscle to block the faulty electrical signals that were causing the issue. Back then, this was a long and painful procedure performed while awake, and a fairly new way to torture patients. He had been the first commercial pilot to undergo it, and following his successful recovery, he was granted a full Class 1 medical back without restrictions. So I was hopeful I would somehow get back to the front of an A340. To jump forward 5 years, when I got my restricted Class 1 medical back, the restriction was as or with co-pilot, in other words, two-pilot operations. I underwent 6 monthly cardiac reviews, so became a regular visitor to the CAA Medical Centre in Gatwick. Eventually, just as Cookie was about to retire from his long-held post, he congratulated me and granted me a full, unrestricted medical with the words, "And don't darken our doors again, Mr. Anderson." In order to return to the line with Virgin, I was dispatched to Orlando to fly the sim there for a few days of refresher work and pass a skills test. The only thing of note was that my return flight was from Miami, so I had a connecting flight booked with a US carrier to get me there. Afternoon thunderstorms put paid to that when the airport was closed for long enough for me to miss my Virgin flight home. I sidled up to the Orlando BA desk and gave them my best puppy dog eyes, offering them my connecting flight ticket worth about $20 and my Miami to London Virgin duty ticket that was, to them, completely worthless. To my great surprise and relief, they took pity on me and put me on their next flight to Heathrow. And the icing on the cake, when I boarded, the crew spotted my flight bag and promptly upgraded me to business. Thank you, British Airways. First officers are excellent at finding nicknames for the captains, so it was with some trepidation that I discovered I was rostered to fly with the infamous Captain Chaos. In fact, I was down to fly with him for most of August and all of September. Despite his reputation, I don't think I saw anything that I hadn't seen others do, but I did note that he kept himself to himself, rarely going out with the crew, and perhaps it was his preference for a solitary lifestyle that rubbed people up the wrong way. After that, I didn't see much of him until early the next year when we were put together for a quick JFK trip. It started well enough with me flying the leg into New York to find the place cold and snowbound. Extracting a brake action report from JFK was like pulling teeth, and we were flying the Canarsie non-precision approach to 13 left. There were only a few snowflakes around, so we had no difficulty getting in, and then we were off to Uniondale to stay at the Car Park Hotel beside the Nassau Coliseum. The next day we had a night departure back to London, and I awoke when the call came, groggy and a bit befuddled, and pulled back the curtains to see that everything was white with snow and more was coming down fast. When we got to the aircraft, there was a good 6 inches of fresh fall, and I was wondering how the evening would develop. In over 20 years of flying, I had yet to experience a takeoff from a contaminated runway, so this was going to be interesting. However, Captain Chaos seemed to be in his element. He sent me out to do a walk round in the blizzard that was now blowing across the airport, and I came back frozen with soggy shoes and wet hair. By then he'd got the aircraft set up to receive passengers and had assembled a row of FCOMs, our flight crew operating manuals, on a bunk in the crew rest area. We huddled together in the small space, shut the rest of the world out, and began. Succinctly and logically, he took us through the additional procedures we'd be doing due to the inclement weather, how and where we would be de-icing and anti-icing, our limitations and considerations. We both independently calculated our holdover times, the period when our anti-icing spray would remain effective, and talked about taxiing out and then how to conduct a takeoff from a contaminated runway. The conditions were bad enough to make a decision to stop the takeoff at a significant speed quite dangerous, so although we would calculate a V1 speed, it was unlikely that we would attempt a high-speed rejection. We again independently crunched the numbers and compared results, and when we were both completely happy, we trooped out and back into the cockpit to brief the engineers and cabin crew. I dealt with the box whilst my captain calmly handled the flurry of questions that came his way, and when our departure time came and went, we ignored it. This was a time to forget the clock and make sure we got everything right. My memory has faded, but I think we de-iced on stand, making sure to turn off the APU bleed air to prevent ingesting any fumes from the fluid entering the cabin. When the time came, we got our clearance to push from ramp, and we started up the CFM56s as the tug shuddered and lurched, trying to gain traction to push our 200-plus ton machine away from the terminal. In front of us was a sea of white snow. The snowplows were fully occupied keeping the runways clear, and there was nothing spare for the taxiways or ramp areas. Doing our after-start checks, we left the flaps up to prevent them from being contaminated by snow and waved the crew away. A ramp cleared us to move and called ground for taxi, and very conscious of the big stopwatch we'd started when anti-icing commenced, I was alarmed at how quickly our holdover time was disappearing. The ground controller was talking like a machine gun, and it was almost impossible to get our taxi request in. Somewhere on the airfield, an Aeromexico aircraft kept bleating that he was lost, which was hardly surprising, since the visibility in the driving snow was awful, and the taxiway signs and markings were obliterated by the white stuff. All we could see were the little blue sticks with reflective tops shining in our taxi lights that poked out of the snow. Eventually we got a call in and crept over the snow, weaving around in a maze of confusion, when from the middle of the blizzard we saw white taxi lights coming straight towards us. A BA 747 with a Nigel on the radio was on our taxiway like a gunfighter at noon emerging through the dust. My captain slithered us to a halt, and we tried to resolve the impasse, which involved the 747 turning into an adjacent ramp between us. I watched the Boeing's wingtip sweep past about 20 feet from our windshield before we could continue to the holding point. Arriving and next in the queue, the minute hand on the stopwatch was now perilously close to the end of our holdover time when we got a clearance to line up. I finished the after-start checks by lowering the flaps, and then the before takeoff actions as we lined up. With the big landing lights on, a mass of snowflakes appeared in front, swirling around in the wind, and we opened up the engines to clear any ice from the blades. The big 340 had just started slipping forwards in the slush when we got our takeoff clearance, and with the brakes off, the engines accelerated to toga power. The takeoff seemed to take forever. I could feel the rudder pedals move as the captain worked hard to keep the aircraft straight in the gusty wind, and a mesmerizing river of white snowflakes streamed past the windows, going faster and faster. We passed a V1 and rotate, and we came off the ground, the rumble of the wheels fading, the taxi lights flicking off as the gear clunked into place, and a feeling of quiet settled onto the flight deck as we climbed safely away. Our departure took us left towards the coast, and immediately the radar filled with a line of big red returns, the CBs that were dumping onto New York. There followed a hectic 20 minutes of weather avoidance turns, but there was no way we could go around them all. We were bashed around by the vast storm clouds, bouncing in our straps, until around 20,000 feet we burst out of the side of a towering Kew Nim into a clear, moonlit night. For the first time in about 2 hours of solid, hectic work, Brian and I looked at each other, quietly sighed, and he flicked off the seatbelt signs. I call him Brian now because, for me, Captain Chaos was a name I'd never use again. I had learnt so much from him in that short time, and not just the technical stuff. The way he approached the whole event, dealt with the issues with a calm and measured tone, and the way he kept on top of the situation with a very green first officer beside him was a lesson I treasured. And then the peace was shattered by the fire bell, and the flight deck was lit up by a flashing red master warning light. I guess a passenger, unnerved by the foul weather and turbulence, had nipped into the toilet for a quick cigarette to calm himself and set off the toilet smoke warnings. But I nearly burst a blood vessel. I would fly with Brian off and on until I got promoted, and whenever I did, I tried to chip away at his bluff exterior. It turned out that he'd spent many years flying with a Middle East carrier, where it was very rare for the crew to go out together, and certainly not with a British captain, so he became used to being a loner and doing his own thing. I won't say we got close, but we certainly shared some beers together, talking about his career and his home life, which had its fair share of ups and downs. He had a lovely old thatched property in a rural village, but I believe he retired to France to please his wife, who spoke French and wanted to live and work there. I often wonder how he got on.
Awesome. I always enjoy the Form 414 plain tales.
That's very kind of you, Jeff. No, Brian was a bit of a darling, really. You know, he was, once you got to know him, you realised that he was just a quiet bloke who just got on with his life, and he had had an interesting background, and perhaps wasn't very good at making friends anymore. So it was just nice to try and create a relationship that I carried forward. So I always kept an eye out for him whenever we bumped into each other and said hello. So it was nice to work with him. And any time I heard anyone call him Captain Chaos, I would tell him that story. Mm-hmm. And perhaps I changed a few minds. It was nice. Although...
No, Liz was asking if I had a medical critique. No, the recounting of atrial fibrillation, some of its uncommon causes, treatments, all spot on. Very nice.
There you go. Those damn Romans knew a thing, didn't they?
And I'm just going to caveat that with I am not a cardiologist. So that's what I recall from medical school, which I was reminded I graduated from 18 years ago. So it's been a minute.
Was that the doctor version of I'm not a doctor?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Well, hearing about all that heart stuff, that just was scary AF.
Oh, very good, very good. I did, in fact, get in touch with not my brother, Mark Anderson, who is, of course, a cardiac specialist, very highly qualified, and now does work, certainly back then, he did work for the CAA. In fact, he joined the CAA shortly after old Cookie had retired. So although their paths didn't cross, he certainly knew of him, which I thought was rather nice. Yeah. And Mark, of course, very, very highly respected cardiologist, has helped me out because I had another bout of AF after retirement, and he very kindly deciphered some of the medical reports I was given
The
into
medical
English. Yes.
What does
so
this
I
mean?
could understand what was going on.
Well, I appreciate that you kind of went through how digoxin is derived from foxglove plant. I love that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, and
glad
it's
you
a
put that in
very
there.
effective diuretic as well, which is why the old wise woman of Shropshire used it on her ladies during childbirth, I think, when you get swollen ankles and things. So she had obviously discovered its properties. This is back in the 17th or 18th century, I think. They settled on exactly what component was usable.
Yeah, it's always amazing to me how that stuff comes to be discovered. It's like, who thought to do this? Who, just happened to do it the right way the first time, and then put two and two together, and then was like, we could extract this other component. Anyway, it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it is. There must be a lot of trial and error.
Okay, very good. Well, I enjoyed that. I think we should do some feedback. All right, here we go.
Captain, incoming message.
We're going to start off with this from Eugene Houston. Fly Delta Jets is the title of his feedback. Eugene Houston, Southwest First Officer here. I was just listening to episode 708, and Tim Van Ram wrote in about Fly Delta Jets in a field north of SMF, Sacramento Airport. And he said, sorry, I was walking the dog. No, that isn't code for anything, just literally taking the dog for his daily walk.
Methinks he doth protest too much.
Yeah, I know. Like, what were you really doing there? So he was walking the dog while listening, so I didn't get a chance to look at my phone to see if pictures were attached. Yes, we did have. So I'm attaching a couple of photos I took of the field back in April of 2024. We were flying the approach to 16 right, which actually has since been changed to 17 right, because the magnetic field is changing, I guess. And notice this outside the right side of the aircraft.
A giant
and
finger.
We're showing now, and will be in the show notes as well, the field in which Fly Delta Jets is presented. Yeah. So thank you,
You know,
Eugene.
I've heard of a few instances where people have, for jokes, written on the top of buildings like, welcome to
Different
a city that is
Not the correct
what
city.
they're in.
That you can easily see when you're on like final approach.
Wasn't there
you're,
one like that for
like welcome
Luton?
to Cleveland or something? Or
Wasn't there a famous one? Was it Luton Airport, or they wrote at, maybe it was at Stampstead, they wrote "Welcome to Luton" right next to the runway on a big, huge building?
Wouldn't surprise me, but the most famous one I remember was a farmer in Wales who got annoyed with low-flying jets over his farm, so he wrote "F off Biggles" on the top of a barn in his property. He didn't just write F, he wrote the whole word out.
The whole word, yeah.
And it became so famous that every RAF pilot in the entire Air Force wanted to go and look at it.
I feel like that did not have the intended result.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I was right. It was welcome to Cleveland is a sign in Milwaukee as you're approaching.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, brilliant.
But see, the problem is, though, especially here in the United States, everybody's window shades are down now, so nobody's looking outside. And nobody gets
Nobody sees the signs
They're
anymore.
watching movies anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. Let's hit this next one here from Pedro. Pedro Tito. Clearances. He says, hello, crew. First off, let me thank you again for your company on a number of occasions. Positioning flights, layovers, even runs. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Video's frozen. Maybe I'll unfreeze it at some point. I've just arrived from a transatlantic trip back to my corner of Europe, and I'd like to share with you a reflection that I had during the long flight back. Having been cleared to line up and hold behind landing traffic as we were entering the runway, ATC cleared a second flight that was on a 8-mile final to land on the same runway. This raised my eyebrow significantly to the point that I queried Tower to confirm that we were indeed cleared to enter the runway. The controller confirmed the lineup and hold clearance and even asked us to expedite slightly, subsequently clearing us for takeoff. Obviously, it all worked out as planned, though it did make for a rather attention-grabbing moment from our side of the cockpit, startle and rush and all. We were somewhat caught by surprise that an aircraft would be instructed to line up and hold while another aircraft received clearance to land on the same runway before the first one had even left it. As I've never encountered that practice in Europe or elsewhere in my experience, I became curious as to how common it is in the U.S. system. I understand that busy airports in America tend to operate more expeditiously than many airports over here, but I'd be genuinely interested to understand the operational rationale behind that level of runway compression. In my 25 plus years, to my recollection, I've never encountered that practice intentionally. Working in an environment that applies HIRO, I think that stands for like high reliability operations. Is that correct? HIRO, HIRO principles. I certainly appreciate how valuable runway occupancy time is in keeping things moving smoothly and on schedule. Having heard your discussions on the matter, I wonder whether you have come across similar situations over there where ATC clears an aircraft to line up and hold while another aircraft is cleared to land prior to issuing the takeoff clearance to the aircraft on the runway. Anyway, thanks for sharing with the community, and keep up the good work of keeping aviation fun. Ooh, I like that. We should make that our motto now. Keeping aviation fun.
So I looked up.
Pedro.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I looked up HIRO.
Mm-hmm.
One definition or one meaning of the acronym is high intensity runway operation, but also high intent revenue opportunity, heads of international research organizations. But I'm pretty sure it's the runway one.
I found high reliability organization, which outlines the 5 core principles of avoiding catastrophes in high risk environments.
Oh, that seems to fit too.
Well, it could be maybe some or all of those things. I thought they made like gummy bears, but I think that must be a different company.
That's Haro.
Oh, Haro.
Haribo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haribo? That one.
Yeah, or Haribo or something. But anyway,
Anyways.
So I believe what he is describing is something that is commonly referred to as a squeeze play. Is that right?
That would be a squeeze play. That would be a squeeze play. So in the U.S., you cannot give someone a line up and wait clearance if another aircraft is cleared to land on that runway. So a common practice is when an aircraft checks in and says, "Hey, we're on the visual for whatever runway," they'll tell that airplane continue, not cleared to land, if they need to put somebody in line up and wait. And then they'll put the person in line up and wait, clear for takeoff. Then they can subsequently clear the other aircraft to land. But you cannot have an aircraft cleared to land and an aircraft cleared for line up and wait on the same runway.
Although
now,
that's
is that
kind
something
of what
that's changed
sounds like
recently?
here.
Because I think they used to do, I remember a decade ago or more, where they did do that. But then I think something happened. I think it was at Lauderdale that there was some kind of a near miss or whatever, near crash kind of situation where they said, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was a change. I don't know when exactly it was, but that's the case now. At least that's what we're teaching. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So
this may have happened.
This sounds like it was in Europe, though, right?
No, I think
it was in the
I think
US.
he's talking about the U.S.
Oh, well, they shouldn't
was?
have done that then.
Yeah.
Well, no, he said. I thought he said he had just gotten back. He said he just arrived from a transatlantic trip. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
My understanding was in the
US.
US. Yeah, as he was returning.
It was in the U.S.
Yeah, there is some. They shouldn't have done that in the U.S. if that was in any time recent, to my knowledge. In Europe, they have an interesting practice that's raised some eyebrows, where they will give a behind clearance. So they'll clear an airplane for takeoff from the departure into the runway full length. They'll give somebody else an intersection departure and tell them behind that aircraft, line up and wait. And then another one after that. So there'll be 3 airplanes waiting for some other airplane to come by. And that sounds crazy to me. But by the opposite token, I don't believe that they will. And Nick, you can speak to this probably. I don't think they allow multiple landing clearances to the same runway at the same time.
No, they almost certainly don't. The landing aircraft, there is a regulation that if there is sufficient separation, you've got a very long runway, like at Heathrow, and the guy goes far enough down eventually you can clear some of the land. But no, normally they have to they have to have vacated the runway, and that means their entire aircraft has to have vacated the runway. So the most common go-around I've had at Heathrow has been because the aircraft in front has not cleared the runway in time for me to get my landing clearance. But I have had landing clearances at 50 feet because, that's the way they deal with it. So if that
cruise
guy,
it down with your hand on the throttle.
well, exactly.
Wait.
And, you're going, well, and they usually warn you, get a late clearance. So you go, yeah, and so that's the time to brief your first officer, remind him what you're going to do if you end up going around and you're all prepared for that possibility. And then, because if the bloke, he has a brake failure or blows a tire or something and doesn't clear the runway, you've got to be prepared to get out and get away. In other words, when we get a landing clearance, we know the runway is ours. So that's the great advantage of the European system.
Cool.
All right. Very good. Let's go. Thank you, Pedro, again for your feedback. We do appreciate it. We're going to jump to 6 now. Feedback item number 6 from Erbium. 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 I always have trouble pronouncing that for some reason. I'm the Latin, I think. It's regarding the Jeff number. You'll recall that he is the creator and author of this amazing data point. Hi, Liz. Oh, is it okay if I read this, Liz? Okay. Thank you. Attached, please find a mock-up for a poster about the Jeff number as per AJ's suggestion. Please let me know what you think. I did get carried away a wee bit on the surrounding decorations. Sorry. Oh, no. We love getting carried away with things like that.
Perfect.
Let's see. The scale on the right goes up to 170 knots because I believe that's the fastest rotate speed rather than V1 for a current airliner. I think that's the 747-800. Please correct me if I'm wrong. As an aside, it was very tempting to take it up to Concorde speeds. That'd be very fast. The pressure scale left is just for fun. The date on the bottom was APG number 1, of course. And the technical note number is just a random number. Erbium. Thank you very much, sir. So you'll recall, that the actual Jeff number is can you pop that back up, Liz? Is the speed, your ground speed, your taxi speed, V sub G, over V1. It's a ratio. So if you were taxiing at a very, very good clip, which apparently I've been known to do, and it's actually approaching or actually becomes the same value as your decision speed, then you're at J number or Jeff number 1.0, like Mach 1.
When we just call it Jeff 1?
Jeff 1, yeah, that's true. We should do that.
Yeah, we don't call it
Jeff
Mach
1.
number 1.
Yeah. So anyway, very cool. So there you go. There's a little bit more explanation of the ratio and the definition of the Jeff. Yeah, we do need to do T-shirts for that. Hey, Peter. I'm not even going to say it. All right. Yes. Okay. Speaking of T-shirts, great segue. We're going to jump to 9 from Tim Van Ram. He sent in a picture, and it says, Jeff's new favorite T-shirt. Huh. So I wonder why. Let's see. Oh, okay. The T-shirt says, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what Jeff told you to do the first time. Yeah, I like that. Although a lot of people would say,
Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up. Shut up, Jeff.
yeah. Although I think that most people, or I'd prefer them to say,
Good work, Jeff.
thank you. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Thank you, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble is,
all right.
there's so many words in it, I don't think I'd ever get to the end.
Yeah, but the thing that really stands out to me is the name, Jeff.
Yes,
Jeff.
indeed.
Jeff.
It really stands out. It's very
And succeed.
large letters.
You've got succeed and Jeff. That's all you need to know.
Succeed, Jeff.
It's very positive.
Yeah, I like it. Very
Synonymous.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Which one next? Number 7. Okay. Okay. Number 7 feedback from Kent Penny, a listener in Rapid City, very close to my hometown of Box Elder, South Dakota. Actually, that's my legal domicile. And we met up. It was a couple of years ago, I think. On my maiden voyage of the RVS, stopped by Rapid City and had a lovely lunch with Kent. And anyway, he says, "Good day, APG crew. I'm catching up on my podcast listening and following the discussion on the LaGuardia runway 22. March 22nd, 2026 Jazz accident. Okay. We wanted to bring up something that I've not heard anyone address related to airfield design as well as operational procedures. The facts are clear that the plane was landing on runway 4 and the airport rescue and firefighting vehicles, or it's just easier to say ARF, vehicles were crossing on taxiway Delta. There are 3 different taxiway connectors in close proximity on this west side of runway 4, which are taxiways D, or Delta, Foxtrot, and Echo. There is an airport design guidance provided by the FAA in AC 150/5300-13B, Change 1. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, which speaks to taxiway runway intersections. The provision indicates in paragraph 4.8.1.1, sections 1 and 2, that taxiways are to be designed at 90-degree angles to the runway for the best visual perspective, except for high-speed exits. When 90 degrees are not practical, then an allowance of plus or minus 15 degrees is acceptable. Therefore, an angle between 105 and 75 degrees would be acceptable. And then he cited the actual narrative, or not narrative, but the actual, what would you call this, source document, or I'm trying to think of what the right word is. But anyway, so that's going to be included in the show notes as well, so you can read it yourself. And a link, of course, to that. And he has the airport diagram of LaGuardia there as well, showing that the place where this accident occurred at Delta, and then a little bit further north on runway 4, or northeast, I guess, Echo and Foxtrot, and the fact that they're not exactly 90-degree angles, but I don't know if it falls within that allowable.
So further down,
75
he's
to
done the
105.
math on it.
Oh, I see.
And taxiway
Okay.
D is 64 degrees from runway 4. So Delta Foxtrot is 45 degrees, and Echo is 90 degrees. And they were on Delta, correct?
Yes, I think it was Delta that they were on, yes.
Yeah, they were on Delta.
So both
which is
taxiway
64.
Delta and Fox are outside the recommended design range. So again, there's that word recommended. So I guess it's okay if it doesn't meet that suggestion or whatever, or recommendation. From looking at the airfield, it looks like taxiway Foxtrot functions as a high-speed exit, but it's unclear the purpose of taxiway Delta. Since the use of taxiway D or Delta for crossing runway 4 is an acute angle with visibility restrictions, it's unclear why there were not procedures in place to require those crossings at taxiway Echo, where there would be clear visibility for operations along the entirety of runway 422. I bet that now that this has occurred, maybe they're taking a look at perhaps standard operating procedure of using a taxiway that is at a perpendicular to the runway. I don't know. I'm sure.
Chip, I was just going to make a comment there. The guy was landing on 22 or
4.
Okay. So they were, in fact, coming a little from behind them.
Yeah.
What's to stop Delta being a high-speed turnoff as well as Foxtrot?
It might be. I'm not sure.
It's not quite as much of an angle.
No, it's not quite as much as an angle, but that doesn't prevent it from being a high-speed turnoff.
No,
Yeah.
and I don't. I don't know what really would qualify it to be considered high speed in quotes, but
I don't know if the issue that well, maybe it is, but I think the discussion is about whether or not the vehicles should be crossing on Delta, not so much that whether or not Delta should be changed.
Yeah,
good point.
True.
Yeah, Echo would have perhaps been better.
That's looking at the map. There's a significant more distance that the airport vehicles would have to go to reach that perpendicular taxiway.
Because the fire station is like at the end of taxiway Delta.
Yeah,
there.
so they're out the door and straight on Delta.
Yeah.
And I would go as far as to say that Delta is a very wide entry to the runway.
there could be
So
several angles.
there's no reason you have to go across the runway at an angle. You could, in fact, straighten your vehicle so that you're, get a good view down the runway and then turn back to exit the runway. So, I don't know.
You might be wondering why Kent is interested in this and knows so much about it. Well, his credentials are Kent Penny, AAE and AICP, and that has something to do with aviation planner. He's a principal aviation planner, a PAP. So I'm not sure exactly. I think that something about airport engineering, I think, is that first designation, and then I'm not sure about the second one, but it probably has something to do with being a aviation planner.
I do wonder how many of these taxiways and the runway positions are obviously historic, but perhaps the taxiway orientations are also historic. And, once you've got an established piece of concrete, it would take a piece of major redesign, anticipating this potential problem to reorganize it all.
It's not like there's a lot of extra real estate available at LaGuardia.
No, there's not. And you're right, that airport has been around for quite a number of years. So, and it was back in the days of, piston propeller aircraft, right? Before the dawn of jet aviation. Okay, we're going to revert or go backwards in time to feedback number 5. And this was sent in to us by David Moore. Colin Bell turns 105. Now, you recall that Captain Nick did a wonderful interview of Colin a while back, right? I forgot which.
Yeah, it was not so much me, but the organizer of another podcast invited me along to be part of the interview. So, I was there more like a fly on the wall, but it was fantastic to listen to Colin. That's
very large fly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So David says, "Hi, Colin Bell celebrated his 105th birthday with a tiger moth flight over Norfolk on YouTube, together with some interviews about his book, which Captain Nick has already covered." And again, this is from David Moore, Cambs, England. I think that's way, I don't know, CAMBS, is that Cambridge? Oh, Cambridge, England. Old, between Old, Warden, and Duxford. Spitfire nearly every VFR day. Yeah. Quite a few of them over there. I do have a video there, Liz, and so let me play that for us right now.
It's 19 minutes past 8. We have heard...
It's 19 minutes past 8.
This morning that today marks the 90th anniversary of the first Spitfire flight. It's also a very special day for our next guest.
Flight Lieutenant Colin Bell is the last surviving World War II Mosquito bomber pilot, and today it's his birthday and he turns 105.
Colin is releasing a memoir recounting his time in the RAF and also how he wooed his wife of 73 years. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, Narga. So good to be with you.
Happy
and
birthday.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you for celebrating your birthday with us. We were talking about the Spitfire, the 90th anniversary.
Yeah.
You then said...
Huh?
You then said, why are you celebrating the Spitfire instead of the Mosquito?
Well, I really don't know, because the Mosquito was, in my judgment, a better aircraft than the Spitfire. The Mosquito had 2 Spitfire engines, as our American cousins would say, no contest.
You flew Mosquitoes. Tell me what it was like.
Well, I flew 50 missions over Germany and 13 over Berlin. And Berlin was a pretty hairy place to fly over. I mean, it was a very heavily defended target, and they were dedicated to shooting me down. But as you see, they weren't successful.
Colin, take us, if you would, and I urge anyone to read the book to understand some of the things you saw.
Interrupt this wonderful video. That was just a nice little teaser for you to have enough interest to continue to watch the rest of it. And again, a link to that will be in the show notes, which can be found on our website and can be found in, should be in the metadata of whatever podcast player you're using to listen to us if you're listening to the audio-only podcast. So please check his video out. And Captain Nick, I think it seems like you're going to say something here.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, the fine gentleman that invited me along to interview Colin was Bob Judson, and I would like to recommend the Leading for Life Stories podcast
he has a great podcast.
Bob produces, which is a podcast which deals with leadership, as well as Bob telling in a similar way to my Plane Tales, tells the story of his flying life, which is very interesting because Bob rose to quite a high rank in the Royal Air Force, unlike me, who scuttled out and went off and flew airliners.
Tanya and I just want to know what Mr. Bell has been having, just to help him live such a long, healthy life. And I mean, he looks fantastic. He does not look like he's 105. He is sharp as a tack. I'm very impressed. Goals for sure.
I think it's tequila.
It's tequila.
Yep.
Tim Van Ram thought it was warm beer.
Oh, it could be warm beer.
I think it was
And
the bromide they put in their tea during the war.
That could be it as well. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, he's sharp as a tack and looks great. 105.
Fantastic.
My gosh. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Well done, Colin. Congratulations.
Yep. Okay. All right, we're going to jump now to number 13, crew. This is from APG listener Justin Doiron. How did I do? An APG follow-up. So let's see. Hi, Captain Jeff and the APG crew. I wanted to send along a follow-up to the email you read on the show back in September of 2024, which was episode 630. I've included the original message below for context, not because I expect you to remember it all, but because it really frames just how much has changed since then. First off, thank you again for reading it on the show. That moment meant more than I can properly put into words. It was just really cool. When I wrote that email, I was in that place many of your listeners probably recognize, loving aviation from a distance, wondering what if, and trying to make peace with the idea that maybe that chapter had passed. Well, ... things have taken a bit of a turn since then. After sending that message back in September of 2024, I did follow through on something I mentioned. I went out and I got current again on my PPL, which had lapsed for 12 years. I've been flying periodically since, which has been incredible. I've attached the same photo I originally sent to you back in September of 2024, and now we're showing it on the video version, and we'll have that. You should be looking at it at the chapter image if you're using a podcast player that supports that. And so that's the one that he sent back in 2024, and the actual photo is from 2010. He's flying with his 2-year-old son at the time, along with one from last summer which we're looking at now. Now he's 16.
Wow,
that
hasn't
alone
he shrunk?
Yeah. Dad has shrunk. That alone is enough to make you stop and think for a second. I've also included a photo of me and my 2 youngest boys at my airport during their first visit to see, quote, Daddy's work.
Very good.
Wow. Like many weekend warriors, staying current hasn't been perfect. The school I rent from requires a flight every 2 months to avoid another checkout, so I've lapsed a bit over the winter and spring, but I'll be getting back up soon, even if it's just some duel to shake the rust off. But the real reason I'm writing is this. During that period where APG had me fully re-engaged with aviation again, I happened to check the Air Canada careers page on a whim just to see if anything local was posted. And there it was. Station Manager, Charlottetown, CYYG, Charlie Yankee, Yankee Golf. I applied right away. After a couple of months went by, I figured it probably wasn't going anywhere. Then, one day, while out hiking with my family, I got the call. A few weeks later, I was offered the job. Jeff, and I say this without exaggeration, the only reason I'm here today is because APG pulled me back into aviation in a meaningful way. What started as something to fill a commute turned into a complete shift in direction. You helped take me from a place where I felt like I was settling to one where I'm genuinely excited to get up and go to work every day. I can't understate that. The same goes to the whole crew. Nick, Steph, Liz, Nick, AJ, Rick, and everyone who goes between APG regular and occasional pop-in. Your engagement and conversations and banter and wisecracks bring it all together. I started in March of this year, and the experience has been incredible. I've met amazing people from across North America, and even a few pilots who've quietly suggested that at 41 years old, it might not be too late to find my way onto the flight deck, after all. We'll see where that goes. For now, I'm not quite living the original dream, but I'm definitely living dream adjacent, and that's a pretty great place to be. Thank you for everything you do. It goes far beyond entertainment. In my case, it genuinely changed the trajectory of my life. And the offer still stands. If you ever make it to PEI, which stands for Prince Edward Island, right, Liz? Edward Island, okay. Or if my travels eventually bring me to Peach Country, which is where we are down here, or where I am and AJ is, I'd be honored to say hello. And the first round is on me. All the best. Justin, Station Manager, Yankee
letter.
Golf, Air Canada. Wow. That
What,
is.
how do you say station manager in French, Jeff?
You say chef d'escale. I don't know. How do you say that?
That was close enough.
What would you say? Is Steph here? I mean,
Yeah,
you see it
but
below his name?
hold on. Where did my feedback go on that one? Yeah. There, sorry. For some reason, it like kicked me all the way back out of Evernote. Chef d'escale? Chef d'escale.
Chef d'escale. I think I did a pretty
He did.
dang
He
good
did
job.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we said he was
For
fine.
somebody that doesn't
credit.
speak French. Yeah, I know. It was a surprise.
Did you say chef?
That was fantastic. Yes,
Yeah,
chef.
I mean,
Like,
this.
So, all the chefs in France, they're all stations.
No, they're chiefs.
They're managers.
Yeah, let's focus on the important
Yes,
thing
chef.
here. And
Yes, chef.
of course, the important thing here is
Good work, Jeff.
thank you. No, to all of us on that are hosts of the show, and even our community that are such a big part of this. It means something. I mean, a lot of times it's easy for me to think it's just fun. You know, we just get together every week and have some laughs and talk aviation mostly, and sometimes beer and other things like running and whatever. But it's feedback like this that really kind of hits us hard. Like, oh, maybe what we're doing here means something more. So it's always good to hear that. So thank you, Justin, for sending that.
Yeah.
And congratulations. We're really proud of you.
Congratulations
That's awesome.
for sure.
And as somebody who took about a little over a decade off in my flying career, that coming back to it is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. So
And
good on you.
41, definitely probably not too old.
No, I hope
personal
not.
aspirations.
No, you're not.
Speaking for myself specifically.
Speaking for myself also.
Yeah, he does look very happy in this picture with his 16-year-old there. Although the 16-year-old is looking like, I'm not sure that this is safe being here in this airplane.
Put your
Yeah,
hands back on the yoke, Dad.
The same
Both
expression when
hands.
he was 2. The same expression when he was 2, I think, in the picture from 2010. Hasn't changed.
Yeah, you know, he kind of does have the same
It's like,
expression,
meh.
doesn't he?
Perfect.
No doubt
Like,
that's
what
the same
heck am I
kid.
doing here? Yeah, thank you, Justin. I mean, and thank you for taking the time to do this, to send this. I mean, it really means a lot to us. It really does. I think that going up to the Maritimes, the Canadian maritime provinces, is definitely something that I want to do.
Oh,
Well,
and
you've
there's a
got an
chance
RV, yeah,
I could
would
actually
you?
join you this time because my passport finally showed up. Yay!
Oh, yay!
Hey.
Good.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
wow.
let's make some plans. All right. Tanya said that was so beautiful. Yeah.
It was,
I think she was
indeed.
looking at a picture of me when she said that.
Well, you're looking a bit fuzzy, to be truthful, Joe.
Oh, am I?
That's helping.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why.
helping.
Yeah. The T-shirt.
Okay. Do you think so? Yeah, I think that would be a great note to end on. Good point. Yes, thank you, Liz. Okay, so it is now time to wrap this baby up. The wrap-up portion of our show here, and of course the first thing what we do usually is to point you over to our website where there's all kinds of good stuff to peruse, and I'm not even going to tell you. You just have to go and look at it, okay? And we're also on social media, or what I like to call the social meds, and we always love to point to our good Dr. Steph to tell you more about that. That's why she's here.
I'd be happy to. It's my entire reason for being
Yes.
here. My reason to être. So if you would like to find us on the social medias or the social media sites, you can head over to one of the following. That would be facebook.com/airlinepilotguy. We're also on X at APG Crew. If you're looking for the weekly show artwork that Nick is so expert at making for us, that's on Instagram, instagram.com/APG Crew. And for these live recordings, either the live show or the recording of it, you can go back and watch at a later time and date. If you would like to join the live chat, that's all on YouTube, youtube.com/airlinepilotguy. And as always, we know that Hillel is in his usual location, ready to tell us about Slack.
Yep, he's all wet. Hillel, can you tell us about Slack?
Okay.
I know. You're dripping wet. Come on over here anyway. We don't care. And we just love you, man. And we want you to tell us more about Slack.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas. We suggest episode and Plain Tales topics. We plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
All right, thanks a lot, Hillel.
I need a towel. I got shampoo in my eyes.
Uh-oh. Little minor emergency there in the shower.
That's what the water's for. Why does he need a towel?
He used all the water.
Ooh.
Also, we would like to thank our producer, curator,
Hey, well done, Liz.
Piper. Thank you, Liz, for all the work that you do behind the scenes.
My pleasure.
And we love you and couldn't do it without you, as evidenced by that Left in the Lurch Liz episode a couple back. And we'd also like to thank our live chatters, our live audience that join us each and every week, and they really make this show something better than it ought to be. And anything else to say before we finally say our goodbyes? I don't think so. So with that, we're going to wish you all clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Cheers, y'all.
Just half an hour.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Ta-da.
Alrighty.
Yay.
So you got those. You got those ones. Oh, what's going on?
Are being attacked?
He's being assaulted.
It's an atrial fibrillation.
Oh yeah.
Fibrillation.
Did you have a cold
I'm wearing
drink?
shorts and she just clawed my leg.
Oh. Is that Jilly?
Jilly.
No, it's the other woman.
Behave yourself.
Oh, I see.
Well, you know,
Camera's
that's
still
what
on.
you get for pinching her Volvo. Yeah.
Yes.
Careful.
Now, back to show
That's a
titles.
good total. Pinch your Volvo.
Did you? Oh my God. You saw those suggestions by Mr. Van Ram? Did you see those two? He's got
What suggestion?
Blue Origin Shockwave.
Blue
or
Origin Shockwave.
Prescription for flying.
RX for flying. What?
Edge lights in lieu of
Pertaining to the
runway
use
sunlight.
of runway lights in lieu of.
Come on.
I don't
Tim,
understand,
you do
Tim.
better than that.
Okay, I've got a couple, Nick, perhaps. Truck ducking. That was the truck ducking down to miss the plane hitting it. Truck ducking.
Truck ducking.
Yeah. Anyway, turtle crossing. Turtle crossing.
Or caution turtles on the
turtle
runway.
crossing or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have duck trucking or truck ducking or
Truck ducking.
turtle crossing. This is animal crossing theme.
Yeah. Foxglove fix. Foxglove fix.
Ooh, not easy to say.
Now this is our new enhanced APG tagline. Keeping aviation fun and changing lives. Because we changed. Isn't that sort of lofty goal there?
That is a probably way
Sounds-
too lofty. Goal.
Sounds optimistic.
Yeah, very optimistic. Overly optimistic.
I don't know. I think you changed Justin's life there.
Yep, but you used the plural. You said lives.
Well, we've had a few
No,
other
we have
victims
actually.
there. Yeah.
We've actually had some others
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, many, quite a few.
So keeping aviation fun and changing lives.
Yeah, or you could just break it up, just have keeping aviation fun if you wanted, or whatever. But I just loved Justin's feedback.
Yeah.
It was great.
Indeed.
Mainly because he's Canadian. That's why.
Of course.
We need to turn this off before this continues.
I know.
Tim's already started.
Shell station.
Oh.
It's going downhill.
That's pretty funny, actually.
That is pretty good.
Quickly
I love
devolving.
I like it, Tim.
Well, I did say you got to do better than that, Tim, and
I think he did. Yeah,
he did better.
He did.
Good job, man.
He raised the bar there. Yep.
Shell station.
Is he at the bar? He's at the bar.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the bar, I need a drink.
All right,
Speaking of the bar,
everybody.
I haul boxes. Did you just get here?
No.
No, he was here.
Oh, he's
earlier.
been here? Oh, okay.
But he's
Sorry,
been
he was
kinda
just quiet for a
quiet.
while.
Yeah,
He's been a little
it's been
quiet.
very-
but-
Weird.
Anyway, thanks
muted.
everybody. I think Captain Nick's going to get to bed at this fairly decent
Blah.
time here. So
Yep.
we'll see you next time, everybody.
Someone
Yes,
just
thanks so
walked
much
on my
for
grave.
being there for us. We appreciate you. Really do.
Bye.
Elbow, wrist.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks.